Let's turn things over to the broadcast booth. The pregame show starts now.
All right, welcome. Make me adjust. Get ready for the regular season finale here for the Dakota Fusion. They will host Joy Athletic Club. It's the, I shouldn't quite say that it's the regular season finale, but as far as home games are concerned, it's the regular season finale. The Dakota Fusion still have one more game in the regular season. That'll be played on the road in about a week from now. And then, depending on the outcome of this game, they may have a home playoff game, or they may have a road playoff game. The one thing we know for sure is that they're in the playoffs. We just don't know if they're going to be home or away yet in that first game. So, and winning this game will go a long way to determine that if they get that home spot or not. So, we are a few minutes away from the opening announcements here, about 4 minutes in front of 7 o'clock. We'll turn it over to our PA announcer here, and be right back with more here in a moment on Magnitude Sports, the Dakota Fusion YouTube channel, and 11 Sports. All right, I want to welcome everybody here to Jim Gata Stadium, including our visitors from Joy Athletic Club. The concession stands are located to the right of the scoreboard, and the restrooms are located right around the corner from the concession stands. Our American flag from the national anthem will also be down by the concession stand as well. We wish both of the teams the best of luck. We'll be going over starting lineups here in a few minutes. All right, so we'll, since we have a little bit of time here before things get rolling, let's see here. Looks like we're 2 minutes in front of 7 o'clock, so we should be getting going here in the next, 2 to 5 minutes probably. But for the visiting Dakota Fusion in net, or for the visiting Dakota Fusion, for the visiting Joy Athletic Club in net, it's going to be number 0, Edward Holmes. And then on the flip side for the Dakota Fusion, it's going to be number 0, Jamie Colville. Your starters for the Dakota Fusion are Xavier Ogaro, Brandon Gasper, Rashad Ogun, who will be wearing number 7 today, usually wears number 12. Kai Pritchard, Ben Colburn, Sebastian Acuna, Yusu Kanami, Ethan Bishop, Kenshiro Yamaguchi, and James Bolger. And for the visiting Joy AC, your starters are going to be number 2, Mika Folstad, number 4, Noah Kantorix. Let me grab my pronunciation sheet here. And number 5, Danielson Ramos. Number 8, Bennett Kuwami. Number 12, Zenadine Croton. 13, Owen Salzweldo. Number 15, Evan Moreno. Number 18, Sedita Matson Kieta. Number 20, Noah Eklund. And number 22, Jorge Radella. And once again, in the net for Joy AC is going to be Edward Holmes. We'll take a short breather here, and we'll be back in just a moment here on Magnitude Sports, the Dakota Fusion YouTube, and 11 Sports. All right, so I was just informed here that the 7 o'clock start of this game is going to be delayed a little bit. Joy Athletic Club brought their black jerseys to today's game. So now the operations staff for Dakota Fusion has to go and grab a different set of jerseys because Dakota Fusion was going to be wearing black. So instead of having a black versus black team, they're going to go get either the yellow or I think they have 3 other jerseys that they have to choose from. I'm not sure which one they will bring back, but when they bring it back, we'll know what color that the Dakota Fusion are wearing today. So that gives us a little bit more time to kind of chit-chat here, but we'll turn it over to our PA announcer one more time here and give that same update that I just gave to you, and then we'll be right back. Just a heads up, the start of this game will be delayed a little bit due to a jersey conflict, and one of the teams will be getting a different set of jerseys. So we'll be delayed a little bit beyond our 7 o'clock start. All right, welcome back here to Jim Gott Stadium. Let's make sure that our camera isn't. Nope, it's not frozen. Okay, good. For a moment there, I thought we were. So once again, we are live here at Jim Gott Stadium, and if you're wondering why there's no players on the field yet, apparently Joy Athletic Club only brought a black jersey with, and Dakota Fusion was planning to wear black jerseys, so the visiting team did not have another jersey to change into. So the operations staff for Dakota Fusion is going to get a different set of jerseys, and then we will have a delayed. So that's the reason why we'll have a delayed start. And also the lights here at Jim Gott Stadium, they're doing some remodeling, some renovation. So they're doing it in stages. So like the internet wasn't working a couple weeks ago, and now tonight the lights won't be working. So with the delayed start, if I asked, and the answer wasn't quite given to me because they didn't quite know. So we're going to find out together here if they'll play the full 90 or if the game will get called once it gets too dark to play. But this will be an interesting scenario here. So while we have a moment, I mean, I got a little bit of stuff that we can go over here to chew up the time. So, but give me one moment here. All right, I had to give some information to another staff member here. But anyways, like I said, I have a little bit of stuff that we can go over here. We can go over the NPSL standings, and we can try and go over it in depth to chew up as much time as we possibly can here. But so as I was mentioning earlier in the broadcast, the Dakota Fusion have they have secured themselves a play-in game. Or not a play-in game, a playoff game is what I meant to say. The only question is if that playoff game is going to be at home or on the road. If they win today, it'll definitely be at home. If they lose today, there would be a couple scenarios where it might go on the road, but it's more than likely going to be home. So as you can see there, Med City is really the only one who could potentially falter those plans, but it looks like even if Med City were to win their next game, they would move up to 21 points, and then Med City has one more game after that. So, and if they were to win both of those games, they'd be at 24. So if Dakota Fusion wins this game today, they'd be at 25, and the best Med City could do is 24, and then Dakota Fusion would lock in a home game in the playoffs. They will not be able to catch Duluth FC. Neither will any of the other teams in the conference, as Duluth FC is still looking for somebody to hand them a loss. And depending on what Duluth FC does in their game, I think they're playing tonight. I haven't checked the schedule for all the teams, but I think they're playing tonight. If they win, well, even if they were to lose out the rest of the season, the Dakota Fusion couldn't catch them, because the best the Fusion could do would be 28 points. So even if Duluth lost all of their games, the best the Fusion could do is 28 points, and the best Med City could do is 24 points. So if Dakota Fusion loses this game and wins the next game, Dakota Fusion just has to win one of the next two games to lock in a home playoff game, is what I'm trying to say. Because Med City, the best they could do is 24. And then if Dakota Fusion were to lose tonight and their next game against Duluth FC, then Med City could potentially get a home game in the playoffs. So, and Dakota Fusion plays Duluth FC on the road to wrap up the regular season. So they're going to want to win tonight here against Joy St. Louis Park. And I'm not saying that they can't beat Duluth FC, but as you can see by looking at the standings, nobody has been able to do it yet. So if anybody's going to do it, it would have to be the Dakota Fusion in the event that they lose here tonight to Joy St. Louis Park. Joy St. Louis Park will miss the playoffs. I don't see a scenario where they could make it, to be honest with you. But, well, actually, there might be. Wait, it's the top two or the top four? I forget. I forget if it's the top two or the top four teams. I know the top two teams get it for sure. It might be the top four. So if it is the top four, then Joy St. Louis could potentially make the playoffs, but they would need a win here tonight against the Dakota Fusion to help assist in that scenario. So there you go. You see the standings. You gone over it. Duluth undefeated with 30 points. They've outscored their opponents 30-4. The Dakota Fusion have Duluth has outscored their opponents 34-4 with a goal differential of 30 is what I meant to say. And the Dakota Fusion have outscored their opponents 28-16. That's a goal differential of 12. Med City with they've outscored their opponents by 10 goals, 19-9. They are 5 wins, 3 draws, 2 losses on the season, while Dakota Fusion, 7 wins, 2 draws, and a loss. And that lone loss is to Duluth FC. They have not lost to anybody else, either one or those couple of draws. And one of those draws was against Med City. And because of that draw with Med City, it's the only reason why Med City still has a chance to bump up to the number 2 slot in the standings there. Minnesota Twin Stars, 3 wins, 2 draws, and 5 losses. They've actually been outscored by their opponents 29-20, so they have a goal differential of -9. Joy St. Louis Park comes into this one with 3 wins, no draws, and 7 losses. They've been outscored. They've been doubled up by their opponents, 32-16, so goal differential of 16. LCRS, 2 wins, no draws, and 8 losses. They've been outscored 31-9, which is a goal differential -22. And then the Sioux Falls Thunder with 1 win, 2 draws, and 7 losses. And they have been outscored 23-18, which is a goal differential -5. So if Sioux Falls Thunder wins their next game, they could, or wins their next 2 games, they could bump up as high as number 5, depending on how many goals they give up. You can see there that Joy St. Louis Park has given up 16, and the Sioux Falls Thunder have only given up 5. So if Sioux Falls were to win the next 2 games and not give up more than 9 goals, assuming that Joy St. Louis Park scored no goals the rest of the season, then Sioux Falls Thunder could jump up to the number 5 spot. And there may or may not be a scenario where they could bump up to number 4. I'd have to look at their schedule and see how many games they have left. I think all the teams have 2 games left because it says here that they've all played 10, and there's 12 games in the season. So I would presume by looking at this that every one of these teams has 2 games left, and there are a couple scenarios where Med City, Joy St. Louis Park, and Sioux Falls Thunder could bump up in the standings, but it would take a couple of wins, and it would take some defensive help from other teams to keep their opponents from scoring more goals while they try and make up the win-loss draw difference over the goal differential difference. Because right now, Sioux Falls Thunder, even though they're in number 7, they have the advantage when it comes to goal differential. If they were to come down to some sort of tiebreaker, that would be one of the tiebreakers. And if they could win a couple games and get help from their opponents to hold Joy St. Louis and LCRS to scoring no more goals this season, and as long as Sioux Falls Thunder doesn't give up more than 9 goals, then they could potentially bump up as high as 5 or even 4, but a very slim chance of going to 4. So there you go. You get 3 points for a win, 1 for a draw, 0 points for a loss. A draw helps nobody. This is the time of the season where you need to win. Because a draw gives you 1 point, and that's not necessarily going to help you with 2 games to go. So the only way to really make a move here this late in the season is to win out the season, because that'd be 6 points for the teams that win out their last 2 games, and that could really bump them up. And it's not really going to affect the number 1 spot. 2 spot, pretty much locked in. The only one who could take Dakota Fusion out of the 2 spot is Med City if they were to come away with a pair of wins. But 4, 5, 6, and 7 could really change up depending on the outcome of those matches. So that's a look at your NPSL standings here on the Dakota Fusion YouTube channel, along with Magnitude Sports and 11 Sports. It's been a joy, no pun intended, considering that the Fusion are playing Joy St. Louis Park. But it's been a joy to broadcast these games the past 3 seasons, and we certainly hope that we get to broadcast season 4 for the Dakota Fusion. That'd be absolutely awesome. And we might have a chance for we might have one more game than we originally expected here. And like I said, it all comes down to if the Dakota Fusion can lock in a home playoff game or not. I believe if they were, I think that first playoff game is something like July 15th, give or take a day or so. I don't know the exact date on it. I just know that that's pretty close to the exact date. So let's see here. What else can we talk about while we're waiting here? Once again, if you're just tuning in, we are under a delay due to the fact that we have two teams wearing black jerseys and one team needed to go get a different set of jerseys. So once again, Joy St. Louis Park, based upon the information that was shared with me, brought black jerseys and no other jerseys. So they didn't have a jersey to change into. So the Dakota Fusion had to go get a different set of jerseys so that we could tell the teams apart. So that's why we are on the air yet, but we're not playing soccer yet. And in order to, what's the word? It looks like that car coming in right behind the standings there, that's the new set of jerseys. I know that car. So the new jerseys have arrived, and we should be getting underway, I'm guessing, sooner or later. At least I think it's the new jerseys. I know that the person bringing the jerseys drives an SUV at least similar. Oh, wait, no, the black one coming in behind. I bet that's the one with the jerseys. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that's the one we're looking for, is that black one, because I remember it's a darker colored SUV. But if it's neither one of those, they're on the way soon. I can tell you that for sure. All right, what else can we talk about here? We can go over the Magnitude Sports schedule here, because once again, we're broadcasting on Magnitude Sports, the Dakota Fusion YouTube channel, as well as 11 Sports. So if you want to subscribe to Magnitude Sports on YouTube, you can, I guess we can't look at the schedule because apparently it's not logged in. And okay, well, then I guess we won't take a look at the schedule here, but we will bring it back to the live camera here. And once again, let's see here. Yep, that looks like a box of jerseys, and it looks like the right person. I mean, it's a box, and I'm assuming it's holding jerseys, so yeah, it looks like the jerseys are a little bit closer. So let's see here. Taking a look here. We are at 7:17, so we're only about 15 minutes delayed beyond what we normally would be here. If we take a look at the weather forecast here for Fargo, we're under a mostly sunny sky and 83 degrees. Forecasted high of 86. We've already reached that forecasted high, so we will be at 83 and dropping throughout the duration of this contest here. Sunset is for 9:25, so that means we have 2 hours and 7 minutes to try and get this game played before we lose sunlight, because as I mentioned earlier, they're doing some renovations here at Moorhead High School, and some of those renovations include stuff here on the football field and with the press box, and one of the things they're working on presently are the field lights that would normally turn on here when the sun sets. So once again, sunset for 9:25. So if we can get this started in the next, let's see here, 90 minutes plus maybe they would shorten halftime a little bit to maybe 10 minutes. So if we could get this started by 7:30, that would put us done with the game by about 9:15, and that would give us about 10 minutes to spare before sunset tonight. We're looking at, like I said, mostly sunny and 83 degrees right now. 81 degrees over the 8 o'clock hour, and then we'll see a drop down to about 77 degrees as we approach the 9 o'clock hour. So be in the upper 70s to low 80s in the first half of this game, and then we'll see upper 70s probably in the second half of this game between the Dakota Fusion and Joy Athletic Club. Let's see here. Once again, you can find Magnitude Sports online on our multiple social media accounts, including YouTube at Magnitude SN, at Magnitude SN on Twitter, also Magnitude SN on Facebook, and then if you want to find us on Instagram, search Magnitude Sports. Because we don't have the one we wanted, Magnitude SN, wasn't available on Instagram. So we went with Magnitude Sports and then Magnitude SN with all the other ones. Of course, the Dakota Fusion have a YouTube channel as well, and they have a Twitter too. You can search Dakota Fusion on YouTube and subscribe to their YouTube channel. You can follow them on Twitter. I think they have a Facebook. I think I'm following them on Facebook anyway. And you can watch past Dakota Fusion games from the past 2 seasons on Magnitude Sports as well. So that's something that you can keep in mind. And, of course, if we're invited back next year, fingers crossed, I think we will, but you never know, then we'll have Season 4 for you of Dakota Fusion. But, man, it's been fun the last 3 years. 3 years ago when Magnitude Sports did its first season of Dakota Fusion, they were a 1-win team. Last year, they were kind of in the middle of the pack in the 4. They were kind of sitting in the 4, 5, 6 spot of the standings, 3, 4, 5, I should say, in the standings. And now this year, the only reason why they're not number 1 is because Duluth FC is undefeated. So, I mean, they've gone from a 1-win team to 2 seasons later being second in the standings and likely hosting a home playoff game. Like I said a moment ago, there's a scenario or two that may put them on the road in the playoffs. But they can really eliminate those scenarios with a win here today over the Joy Athletic Club. And correct me if I'm wrong, and maybe the better way to say it is don't quote me on this, but I believe it would be the first playoff game in Dakota Fusion history. But I could be wrong on that. So once again, don't even hold me accountable for that if I'm wrong. But it's the first one that I'm aware of since I became aware of who the Dakota Fusion were. And it's the first playoff game in a while, let's put it that way, for the Dakota Fusion. Well, you know what? We have a little bit of time. Let's take a look at the WPSL standings here for the Women's League. And this needs to actually be updated because these teams have played at least one more game than shown here. But Minnesota Thunder has been absolutely phenomenal this year. The Minnesota Thunder Academy, they're 6-0-1 on the season, and they have 19 points. Sioux Falls City is hanging tight with them with 14 points. And then you got a nice tight race at 3, 4, and 5 there with Salvo SC, Maple Brook Fury, and Joy AC all at 11 points each. Manitou FC is right in the hunt with 10. And don't count out St. Croix or Rochester United. They're at 9. Really the only 2 teams that don't have a chance to make a move and possibly set themselves up for a playoff chance are Mankato United and the Dakota Fusion. As they have struggled. Matter of fact, Mankato United's only win came against the Dakota Fusion, and that's the one reason why they are 1-6, and the Dakota Fusion are 0-7 on the season. So, but yeah, like I said, covering the men's, covering the women's, these past 3 years, the men have really stepped up their game over the last 3 seasons, and the women are working on it. They look good out there. They still haven't won a game this particular season, but they still look pretty good. It's just that some of their competition is really tough. And so, I mean, that can be a hard thing to get over. And the Dakota Fusion, they're 0-7, but they've had games where they've lost like 2-1 or 3-2, and they've been in some of those games that they've lost. There's been a couple games where they absolutely were not in it. Salvo SC was a really tough one. Minnesota Thunder was a really tough one for the Dakota Fusion. But they played Sioux Falls City, the number 2 team, and they lost by 1 goal. So, like I said, there's some talent there, and this women's Dakota Fusion team could get better here over the next couple of seasons. We'll just see how it all pans out and shakes out. So that's a quick look at your women's WPSL. And once again, just to refresh you on the men's NPSL standings, it's the Duluth FC and Dakota Fusion, Med City, and Minnesota Twin Stars locking up the top 4 spots with Joy AC, LCRS, and Sioux Falls Thunder in 5, 6, and 7. So the Dakota Fusion are back on the field now, and they're warming up. So let's see here. We're at 7:24 right now. Once again, sunset is scheduled for 2 hours and 1 minute from now. So it's a 90-minute soccer game with about a 10-minute, maybe a 15-minute halftime. So if we were to get started at 7:30, that would put us at about 9:15. If you include a full 15-minute halftime, that would put us at about 9:15. My guess is that stoppage time would be limited to 1 to 2 minutes max due to the time crunch with sunset and the lights not working at the field. So, I think we're just right on the edge of getting this game in before sunset, and I'm certainly looking forward to it here. Want to say thanks to the one of the coaches here for Joy AC for helping me out with some of the name pronunciations on Joy AC's athletic club roster. Once again, starting in net for Joy Athletic Club is going to be Edward Holmes. He'll be wearing number 0, and he'll be wearing a bright yellow jersey. And on the flip side, it'll be Jamie Colville. Normally, he's wearing kind of a light blue jersey. We'll see if that's the jersey that he's wearing today or not. So I'm just going to write down here which team is which so I don't mix anything up. But, yeah, so with no commercial breaks or anything, I think we did a good job getting through that delay, and hopefully I kept you entertained and somewhat informed on what's going on both the men's and the women's side here in the standings. It's been an interesting season to say nonetheless. And, I'm really excited about, even if the Dakota Fusion, they get into the playoffs, let's say they lose that playoff game. That's nothing to hang their heads about. I mean, because they didn't even have a chance to get into the playoffs the last few seasons. So just getting there is going to be great. If they can pick up a win, that'd be even better. No doubt about it. And, of course, with all that praise on the Dakota Fusion's success, that's not to say anything negative about Joy Athletic Club. I mean, they've had some good seasons there. We've seen Joy Athletic play here on Magnitude Sports over the last couple of years, and we've seen some great games from Joy Athletic Club, and I've watched some on 11 Sports when they've played against some other teams. They have a good team, and even though they're I don't want to say they're exactly like the Dakota Fusion women because they're not, but in some of those games that they've lost, they've been in the games. They haven't been like all blowouts and stuff like that. So this should be a fun game. I would say that maybe the edge goes a little bit towards Dakota Fusion in this particular matchup, but I do mean just a little bit. I think these two teams match up well, and I think we're going to have a good contest here today between the Dakota Fusion and Joy Athletic Club. All right, let's see here. 7:27. Looks like the meeting between the team captains and the officials have just finished up. And we should be getting ready to go here. Yep, okay, so it'll be just a little bit longer as the Fusion are getting they're going to be changing into their yellow jerseys now. So they have the players are going to find their respective jersey numbers. Hopefully there's not any jersey number changes according to the roster that I had with the black jerseys. I wouldn't know for sure. I know we had one number change. Rashad O'Gunn usually wears number 12, but today he was wearing number 7 in black. We'll see if he continues to wear number 7 in the yellow or not. So at least we don't have to change our scoreboard colors, I guess. So I guess that's a good thing. We could change them to black. And matter of fact, we're going to do that right now. We're going to go ahead and change it to black here. If I can find the right button to do that. We'll pull up our scoreboard. I know that the colors are available in the scoreboard there. So let's see. Let's go with this black here. Okay, so Joy AC, excuse me, will be in the black jerseys, and their goalie will be wearing like a lime green. And then Dakota Fusion will be in their yellow jerseys today. And, yeah. All right, so looks like we're ready to go. I'm gonna take a breather. Our PA announcer's getting ready to do what he needs to do here. And since I don't really have anything more to talk about, I will save my voice for the actual broadcasting of the game here. So stay tuned, and we'll be ready to go shortly here from Jim Gotta Stadium in Moorhead. Thank you so much for your patience. Once again, we are under a delay due to the fact that both teams had black jerseys, and the Fusion had to go get different colored jerseys. So now they got the jerseys. You saw that a moment ago, and we're ready to go here. So I'll be back in just a moment with some more commentary here, and as we get ready for the opening kick here of the Dakota Fusion and Joy AC. It's coming up soon. All right, well, that's one way, I guess, to get a head start on a delay is just forego starting announcements, starting lineups, and all that good stuff. and honestly, I don't blame them because that alone would have taken, I don't know, what do you think, like 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes when you throw in the national anthem. So, yeah. I guess we will forego all those things, and I didn't even realize that I was trying to find out if there's any jersey number changes with the different color jerseys, but so we're in the first minute. Our clock is about 5 seconds behind because I couldn't do everything all at once on an unexpected notice. Where are my rosters at? Right here. All right. Yeah, so our clock's only 5 seconds behind, so just an FYI in that. It's not too terribly bad. If there's an opportunity to catch it up, I absolutely will do that. All right, so Dakota Fusion in the yellow, and they're moving from left to right here in the first half. And Joy AC is in the black with pink trim. So let's see here. This game got started at about 7:32. Is that where we're at? Yeah, we're about 2 minutes in now. So that means it started at 7:32. So you add 9 minutes to that. That puts us at 9:02. And then a 15-minute halftime would put us at 9:17. And sunset is for 9:25. So there's a very good chance that we'll get this whole game in. And, you know, the cool thing is if there is stoppage time, then the second half stoppage time would in theory end when it gets too dark out. And I think that'd be fair to say. My guess is that they might maybe reduce halftime from 15 minutes to 10 minutes maybe, if both coaches agree to that, possibly. This is just all speculation. I'm only making guesses here. This has not been told to me. I'm only making guesses, so... The only thing that I know for sure is what I told you before we started play with the jersey changes and the stadium lights and all that good stuff. So I think that's Rashad Gunn, and he's wearing number 7 in yellow, and I have him at number 7 in the black. So yeah, no jersey change on that one. That was the only number change from last week's game was Rashad Gunn. And now this is Kai Pritchard. He centers it back in, and there was an opportunity there for the Fusion to put it in, but he misfired there, maybe even misstepped. And now Joy AC will bring it back out. With the ball for Joy AC, Owen Soswedo. And as soon as I get it pronounced, a couple other passes are made. Now Soswedo will try and break through, but coming up there for Dakota Fusion is Ben Colburn. All right, our clock on your screen there is now caught up with the clock on the field. So what you see on your screen is exactly where we're at in the match as we approach the entry of the 5th minute of play here at Jim Gata Stadium. Joy AC's Noah, where'd my other sheet go with the pronunciations here? Kantoritz wearing number 4 in black for Joy AC. I'm gonna put this one right here so I can make quick reference to it if needed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There was only 6 names on the Joy AC roster that I needed help with. I made a guess on the other ones, and the coach is like, "You nailed it." I'm like, "Sweet!" I love it when that happens. So, 4.5 minutes into the matchup now here as we get halfway through the 5th minute of play. We'll have a goal kick here for the Dakota Fusion. I'm sorry, for Joy AC. Nice defensive play there to knock it out of bounds on the far side. Still 0-0 here as we enter into the 6th minute of play now here at Jim Gata Stadium. At the next break in action here, our PA announcer will announce the starting goalies just to get a little bit of recognition out there to the fans in attendance on who's out there. That is O'Gara racing over on the far side there. He'll drop it all the way back to Colville. Colville and their other goalie, Kudai Tuzuki, pretty much alternate almost every game this season. Ball way up, Rashad Gunn was going after it there and coming out to make the save, or stop the threat, I should say, is Edward Holmes, the goalie. Your goalies tonight for the Dakota Fusion are Jamie Colville, and for Joy AC are Edward Holmes. So it's just like making a goal announcement, right? If I could figure out a clever way to introduce all 22 players, I would, but I figured the goalies would be equivalent considering the circumstances here. Almost the 8th minute of play now. Once again, our clock on your screen there is caught up to the clock on the field. It is identical. If there is any difference, it's a 1/10 of a second, and that's about it. O'Gara, a challenge back there by Joy AC's Bennett Kawami. So once again, your starters for Joy AC, a midfielder number 2, Mika Fulstad, a midfielder number 4, Noah Kantoritz, a defender number 7, Danielson Ramos, a midfielder number 8, Bennett Kawami, and a high ball, and it is off the football crossbar and out of bounds for a goal kick. And that'll give us time to finish up the rest of the starting lineups here for Joy AC. Forward number 12, Zadine Croton, forward number 13, Owen Salzuedo, a defenseman number 15, Evan Moreno, a midfielder number 18, Sadia Matson Kieda, a defenseman number 20, Noah Eklund, and a defenseman number 22, Jorge Radilla. And those are your starters for Joy AC. Once again, Edward Holmes, the goalie. We'll go over the Dakota Fusion here after I get a chance to catch my breath and make sure we don't miss any of the action here. Last thing I'd hate to see is someone score a goal while I'm reading off starting lineups. I believe that's Yamaguchi with the ball over there. And out. Pass. Ogun tries to control it, but lost it off his his sneakers, let's put it that way. And Philip Caputo is into the lineup already here. He wasn't an original starter, but he's in the game now, wearing number 19. And now that ball's coming over in the direction of Caputa, and challenging him there was Sebastian Acuna for the Dakota Fusion. And a throw-in from just inside midfield here will be taken by Ramos. Ramos will send it back there onto the foot of Jorge Radilla. And now on the near sideline, it's touched up by Kawami. And Kawami will lose it, and it'll eventually end up on the foot there, Kai Pritchard. Kai Pritchard came into the game was it Wednesday? Yeah, it was last Wednesday. And 2 minutes later, he scored a goal, and he nearly had himself in a position to possibly get a chance there. But coming out to make the high save was Edward Holmes. Not necessarily a save, it was just more like a stop of a threat. But like what I've seen so far here from Joy AC, and the Dakota Fusion too, for that matter. It seems like Joy AC's had a little bit more ball possession time than the Dakota Fusion, but it seems like even though the Dakota Fusion have had possession of the ball for less time, it seems like the Fusion have had more chances so far. More opportunities for chances. Kai Pritchard cannot, or will he get to that? Oh, he's going to take it off his side of his body and out of bounds for a throw-in here for Joy AC. And taking that throw-in for Joy AC is Ramos. Ramos will toss it in, and it'll go in the direction there of Jonathan Robles. Roblas. I looked at my pronunciation sheet. I'm going to put my pronunciation sheet right here. That way I can, and just barely getting it out of there was the defense for All right, Dakota Fusion making a move here. They'll work it out to Kuna. Kuna centers it back in. Kai Pritchard's there off the rebound, and it's into the back of the net. And scoring the goals. Scoring the goal there for the Fusion was Ben Colburn, number 14. In the 12th minute, it's 1-0 Fusion. Scoring the goal for the Fusion, number 14. Ben Colburn. All right, so Ben Colburn makes it 1-0 here in the 12th minute of play. All right, now I got my sheet for keeping track of the goal scores. So that's the quick start that the Fusion needed, and like I said, Fusion have had more opportunities on less ball control time than the Joy AC has presented for themselves, but they might get one here, and a nice job by Kai Pritchard to knock that away from Ramos. And he knocked it away into the hands of his goalie, Colville. O'Gara, back to Colville, back to O'Gara. Fusion working it back and forth, playing keep away on their own end at the moment here. And now that's nearly taken away, but a nice job there coming up and swatting that one out there was, I believe that was Bolger. Check that, it was Ben Colburn. Ball will come loose, picked up by Joy on the far sideline. They will move it up, and a little push from behind, and there's a whistle. Now be a free kick for Joy AC. Little too much contact there by the Fusion, and they will get called for the infraction. Okay, it was number 18. It was Yusu Kanami who scored. So we'll change that. corner kick here for Joy AC. And some pushing and shoving in front of the net there, and a whistle will be called. And now they'll pull a few players away and have a discussion here. The official talking to Sadia Matson Kieta. Something about the way he was moving his feet inside the box there. So Joy AC really crowding the face of the net here on this corner kick. See what kind of strategy they come away with it as. Header is blocked out there. I believe that might have been Gasper who got it. No, it was actually O'Gunn who got the deflection on, and that one will go out of bounds. Correction on the goal. It was scored in the 12th minute by number 18, Yu Sukanami. And that one's sent out high up over midfield there, and it's Yu Sukanami with it again, and now poking it away there for Joy AC is Radilla. And it's out of bounds on the far side for a throw-in. This one's high up and battling for it there for Joy was Croton up against O'Gara for the Fusion. It'll go out of bounds, and we'll have a corner kick here for Joy AC from the far corner. Make a slight adjustment on our camera here. Corner kick comes in, and it's all the way to the other side, and it's taken away there by the Fusion. And a nice pass, and now a little bit of space, and now can they get another through ball up, and they cannot. Oh, they almost snuck that one over to Yusu Kanami, but a nice job by Noah Eklund there for Joy AC to prevent that opportunity. Now touched up here by O'Gara. O'Gara will send it to Kai Pritchard. Pritchard being challenged there by Matson Kieta, excuse me. There's no I in there. It's not Madison, it's Matson. Matson Kieta. And now a whistle out of bounds, and I looked down at the roster, and I didn't see what happened. It's just a regular throw-in. Ethan Bishop taking that throw-in from the far side. And now they'll come over to the near side here. They'll work it onto the foot of Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi drops it back here to Acuna. Acuna will send it back there for O'Gara. O'Gara flips it up. Yusukanami. Now Kai Pritchard touches up on it, sends it near sideline. They'll put it in the direction of Brandon Gasper. Gasper with a centering pass. Gets in the direction of O'Gunn. It's headed up and out over on the far side. Catching up to it for Joy AC is Croton. And now they'll send it upfield onto the foot of Sazweddle. Sazweddle will send it over near side here for Caputo. And Caputo with a nice little touch pass up there onto the foot of Kawami. Kawami inside the box at the top, takes a shot, deflected back out, headed back in, and now it's an opportunity here for Caputo, and Caputo is challenged, and it will be offside. Caputo was offside. Yep, and I would agree with that too. I was focused on what was happening there. I didn't even notice that he was offside until I looked over at the far end and saw the flag up in the air from the official. So free kick here for the Fusion as Colville will hand it off there for Colburn. Colburn looking upfield, and he'll send it through for Pritchard. Pritchard couldn't quite touch up on it, and now a loose ball will be picked up here by Joy AC's Radilla. Some tough ball here on the near sideline. And he's going to be like, hey, back it up a little bit on that throw-in. And just a couple steps beyond midfield. And the throw-in will successfully be delivered there to Salzwedel. And that pass was intended for Salzwedel. But I don't think Sosweto was ready for it and allowed it to go past him, and the Fusion will get it back. Colborne will send it over there to Orgara. Orgara will have some space to move around. He's looking for an opportunity to pass it upfield. Now he'll kick it out over there to Ethan Bishop. Bishop gets it back to Bolger. Bolger now will send it up. Rashad Ogun, he's onside, but the ball will go out of bounds. He was behind that defender, and then he stepped on the gas to try and catch up to the ball and beat that defender. And if that ball would have been placed just a little bit further inside towards the middle of the field, that might have been a breakaway opportunity for the Fusion. But the pass, not quite where it needed to be on that opportunity. And this one's fed all the way. Nice feed up there. And this might be an opportunity where a goalie would get an assist, assuming Yusu Kanami could somehow put it in. And Yusu Kanami struggling to get through the defense there. He'll pop loose. And now I believe that was Gasper, and he'll send it over near side, but not being able to catch up to it there was Yamaguchi. Toshiro Yamaguchi looked like he was out of breath on that one. And we'll have a whistle here, and yeah, he's getting a verbal warning here that Danielson Ramos, number 7 for Joy AC, likes to sneak it upfield on throw-ins, and the referee's like, every time you're throwing it in, you're going up 10 yards. You need to go back. So, verbal warning received. It seems like on the last couple throw-ins now, he's been a little bit more cautious about that. I have noticed that, too. I was wondering if they were going to speak up about it or not. Yusukanami, now Rashad Ogun has it up over on the far side there for the Fusion. He'll put it inside for Yusukanami. A shot from the top of the box and just a little bit over the crossbar. That was from about 19 yards out, about a yard in front of where that goal box extends out to. And you could say that's a chance for the Dakota Fusion. Or for Joy AC, I meant to say. Or wait, no. I got it right the first time. Yeah, I think what threw me off there a little bit was the goalie for Joy AC. When he made the free kick, it went right to a Dakota Fusion player, and it made me think for a moment that those two were teammates when they were not. And Joy AC wanting a whistle there, and they're not going to get one. Play will continue. And now taking it up the near side, here's Ramos. Ramos will dump it off for Caputo. Caputo tried to take it back to Ramos, but was taken away by Pritchard. Now loose ball into the middle for Yamaguchi. Check that. That was number 6, Gasper. Go out of bounds, and a far side throw-in will be taken by Joy AC's Noah Eklund. Oh, wait, no, it'll be a Dakota Fusion throw-in. I thought the black jersey was setting up for that. They'll switch fields here to the near side, put it on the foot of Acuna. Acuna will work it up, and a quick tap pass out to Kai Pritchard. And then Kai Pritchard gives it up. Put it right on the foot of Kantoritz. And now it's touched up here by Matson Kieta. Acuna challenged there by Caputo. Now another throw in here, Ramos. He gets the warning to stop, and off the throw, and he'll get it right back and chip a pass into the middle there. Loose ball picked up by Pritchard. Pritchard will drop it back to Orgara. Orgara will have a little bit of space to work with. Quick tap pass, and right back to Orgara. And O'Gara will send it right back to Gasper, right back to O'Gara. O'Gara sends it up. Yamaguchi skipped over him. Yusukanami back to Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi chips it up. Yusukanami's in front. Ogun is there, and so is the goalie for Joy AC. And Ramos will be able to clear it out, and Joy AC is able to take control. A great opportunity there for the Fusion, but they couldn't quite make things click that trip down the field. And now it's touched up by Colburn. Colburn will get it here to, I think that's Ogun. Drops it back to Colburn. Colburn looking upfield. He'll switch fields near side for Acuna. Acuna back inside. That's Yamaguchi. Check that. That is Yusukanami. No, that's Gasper, excuse me. Now Kai Pritchard has it. And here's an opportunity for Tsukanami, and he scores! In the 27th minute, Tsukanami gets the goal for the Dakota Fusion, and it's 2-0. It's his second of the game, coming here in the 27th minute. So 2-0 now here in the 27th minute. Scoring the goal for the Fusion is second of the game in the 27th minute. Number 18, Tsukanami. So Tsukanami in the 12th minute and now the 27th minute. And Dakota Fusion have a 2-0 lead here. In a game that got started late, but they forgot, you know what I meant to say. They did not do starting lineups in the national anthem in order to catch up as much lost time as possible. Ben Colburn. I'm sorry, that's Burgos. James Burgos, excuse me. Burgos will flip it over to Ogun. Ogun looks inside. He's challenged there by number 12 for Joy AC. That's Croden. So a far side throw in here taken by Ethan Bishop. Bishop will send it in, and it's headed right out. Controlled there by Joy AC's Bennett Kawami. And now Kawami's in the area of that ball again, but it looks like Gasper was able to punch it away. Far side throw in for Joy. Nice job there by Xavier O'Gara for the Fusion to take the contact and get that ball pushed back up. And now a loose ball in front of the net, and they quickly get it out to the near sideline here for Ramos. Ramos will get it back. He'll kind of weave through a couple of defenders there, but it's taken away by James Bolger. And now Ethan Bishop will control it on the far side. Dump it off for Ogun. Ogun will switch sides here to Ben Colburn. Colburn will lift it up, and Kai Pritchard, can he catch up to it? No flag for offsides. I thought I heard a whistle. Kai Pritchard getting around the defenseman. Kai Pritchard had it poked away. Pritchard tries to catch up to it. Loose ball goes to Joy. Kai Pritchard with some hustle out there today for the Fusion. That's good to see. He scored a goal last game. Coming in, he came in as a substitution in the 55th minute, and he scored in the 57th minute in that last game against, I'm drawing a blank on who they play, LCRs. LCRS is who they played back on Wednesday. That was the last game before this one for the Dakota Fusion. We're in the 31st minute of play now here at Jim Gata Stadium. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're watching on Magnitude Sports, if you're watching on 11 Sports, or if you're watching on the Dakota Fusion YouTube channel. We certainly appreciate you tuning in. Whichever team you're cheering for, we wish your team the best of luck in this contest today. Colburn will get the ball from Colville and send it up to Acuna here on the near sideline. He'll feed it in. Gasper pitches it out for Pritchard. And that one's poked away, and O'Gara will catch up to it. O'Gara will boot it upfield, and I'll be taken down there, and Yusukanami's challenging. I'm kind of wondering if the Fusion will try and feed the ball to Yusukanami to get that hat trick. He has 2 goals already, and plenty of time to score one more if the opportunity presents itself. Here's Ethan Bishop. Bishop now gets it to Gasper. Gasper feeds it up. Pritchard. And once again, I hear a whistle, but I wonder if somebody in the crowd has a whistle possibly. As soon as I heard that whistle, my eyes went to the right for the official to see if the flag is up, and it wasn't. The Fusion have absolutely dominated the last 10 minutes or so of this game. Most of the action has been down here on this side of the field. I'd say in the last 10 minutes, 6.5 of it's been down on this side of the field. There's a pass inside for Ogun. Ogun has 2 defenders on him. Quick pass inside, Yusukanami. It's blocked and saved by Edward Holmes. And an opportunity there for Yusukanami to secure that hat trick. But a nice save there by Holmes, the goalie for Joy AC. And now a throw-in taken by Acuna, and he'll give it right back to Acuna. He'll pitch it inside for Yamaguchi. And now Joy AC, and that was 2 Joy AC players that got tangled up with each other there. And a shot from Ogun and a diving save to his left for Holmes. Up to the near side here, that's Ramos. Ramos has it taken away. Acuna touches up on it now. He'll send it inside for Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi maybe got tripped up from behind, and the referee will agree. Whistle and a free kick coming from about 30 yards out here for the Fusion. Brandon Gasper getting a quick drink of water during the setup here for the free kick. So this come from 32 yards out. Looks like Yamaguchi, or no, it looks like Yusukanami is going to take the free kick here. And Yusukanami will take it. He'll put it right on net and right into the hands of Holmes. Holmes will hold on to it for a moment here and allow his teammates to settle, roll it out near side. And quickly, Joy AC tries to make a move. Ramos with it now. Ramos will drop it back. And now Rashad Ogun takes it away, and he puts it into the back of the net. Rashad Ogun deflects the ball, gets an interception. It was just him and Holmes, and he put it into the back of the net, and it's 3-0 here in favor of the Fusion. That goal coming in the 35th minute here for Rashad Ogun and the Dakota Fusion. Your Dakota Fusion goal scored in the 35th minute by number 7, Rashad Ogun. So Rashad Ogun with the goal in the what did I say, the 35th minute? Yes, that's what I said. There's no shortage of scoring here for the team in yellow right now. Joy AC has had a tough time getting it on their side of midfield, or getting it out of their side of midfield is probably the better way to put it. Free kick there. That one will go over midfield, but the question is how long can they keep it there? And it's taken away, and no trip up there, or some fans in attendance may want otherwise, but Kai Pritchard inside, and that is into the back of the net for Yusuke Nami, and it's his third goal of the game, and it's 4-0 Fusion. Yusuke Nami getting the hat trick, and a nice pass from Kai Pritchard to set that up for Yusuke Nami. Scoring the goal for the Fusion in the 37th minute. Number 18 is third of the game. Yusuke Nami with the hat trick. All right, so that goal coming in the 37th minute. So it took 37 minutes of play for Yusuke Nami to record his hat trick. So 4-0 on the goal in the 37th minute by Yusuke Nami. 2 goals in 2 minutes of play here for the Dakota Fusion. And now that one's sent right on net, and it's into the back of the goal on the free kick. And scoring the goal for Joy AC is Philip Caputo. And we've had 3 goals in 3 minutes of play here. And there's your goal scorer, number 19, Philip Caputo. In the 39th minute. Scoring the goal for Joy AC, number 19, Philip Caputo. So 4-1, Joy AC on the board now. And Philip Caputo taking every advantage of that opportunity on the free kick. And he curved it into the top corner, just out of the outstretched reach of Jamie Colville. Now free kick here from Bishop. Comes inside of the goal box, headed around, and it's picked up by Yusuke Nami. Yusuke Nami sends it over to Ogun. Ogun has a goal. Ogun's shot deflected, and it should be a corner kick here for the Fusion. So that corner kick comes in, and it's immediately headed out. Here's Pritchard, and his shot blocked there by Noah Eklund. And Dakota Fusion, referee says play on. Dakota Fusion are being very aggressive here, getting after that ball. Yusuke Nami was offside. So a free kick here for Joy AC from their defensive side of the field. And this one comes out to the near sideline here for Rodella. Rodella looking upfield, gets a little bit of a shove from behind from Pritchard. Now it's the goal scorer, Caputo. Caputo inside and kicking it off to the sideline there. Nice defensive play by Brendan Gasper. So Brendan Gasper, the midfielder, getting back to defend that one, and he'll come into Ramos off the throw-in. Ramos looking inside, he'll drop it back, and now they'll quick touch pass there to Kantoritz. Kantoritz will get it right back. Kantoritz looking to make a move, and he's got a wide open man on the far side, and it's controlled. Now what's he going to do with it? He puts it, oh, Caputo was there at the edge of the post, but he had a tough angle and couldn't quite turn the corner that he needed to do. Quick throw in here. Come right back to Kawami. And a nice job there by Radilla to keep possession of it. And coming out of the goal there is Colville. And now from the top of the box, trying to take a shot there was Ramos. And now Joy AC applying some pressure here. I'll drop it back. And will he put a shot on goal? Kind of looks like he wants to, and it goes a little bit wide left. It was a good idea there by Radilla, but didn't quite have the angle he was looking for to get it into that inside post, and went a little bit wide left of that post. Or the far post, I guess, depending on where he was standing at. Or depending on which side of the field you're sitting on. Once again, we're about 81 degrees right now. Expect to drop into the upper 70s during half number 2 of this game, and a whistle will be blown. We'll have a free kick here, I believe, for Joy AC. And another free kick for Joy AC. And Joy AC not wasting any time. Fusion, O'Gara touching up on it, trying to take it away. It's controlled there by Salzueldo. And now Joy AC looking for an opportunity inside, and with it there was Croton, but it'll go out of bounds. Joy AC will get a throw in from that far sideline. Making that throw in will be Eklund. Eklund gets it inside here for Kawami. Now Ramos has it. Now it's deflected out all the way up to midfield. A battle for it there, and turning around. I can't see the jersey number on that guy. Here's Yusukanami. Coming out. Can he beat the keeper? No. The keeper gets the win on that one. Yamagachi has it. As we enter the 45th minute of play now here, or get close to it. They'll feed it to Ramos. Ramos upways there for Croton. Croton gets the goal, and it's 4-2. In the 45th minute, Croton will get the goal here for Joy AC. Zinedine Croton, the goal scorer for the second goal for Joy.
Move the ball quicker.
All right, so we're into stoppage time in the first half here. We'll see how much stoppage time they give. They're going to give 1 minute. Oh, wait, no, that's the coach, not the official. Joy AC, can they get one last push here before the halftime whistle? Ramos has it. Ramos sends it out far side here for Caputo. Caputo has one of the 2 goals for Joy AC. They'll work it inside. Now outside here. That is Rodella. Rodella drops it back onto the foot there of the recent, who's that? That's Caputo, who had the first goal. Now it's up at the top of the box there for Swazwedel. They'll chip it inside of the box, headed out by Ethan Bishop. O'Gunn catches up to it, and that's halftime. So your halftime score is 4-2 in favor of Dakota Fusion. Goals in the 12th minute by Yusu Kanami, 27th minute by Yusu Kanami, 35th minute by Rashad O'Gunn, 37th minute by Yusu Kanami, and then in the 45th minute, I forgot to write down the first goal for Joy AC. That made it 4-2, and then the 4-1 goal was scored by, let's see, that was number 19 off the free kick. All right, we'll go to halftime, and we'll be back with the second half here in just a moment. All right, welcome back to Jim Gunn Stadium. We're moments away from getting half number 2 underway here. Local time is 8:31. Sunset scheduled for 9:25, so we have a 45-minute half, and we have about 55 minutes before the sunset. So it looks like we will get this game played in full, which is something that we weren't 100% sure of back when we had that initial delay in the beginning there. And who knows if the delay assisted the Fusion more, if it assisted Joy AC more. I believe Joy AC will get the kick here in the second half. I can't remember who got the kick in the first half because the first half started with me being totally unexpected. All right. We're getting ready to start the second half now here. Our clock's about a minute ahead, so it's just going to stay at 46:02 until the clock on the field gets to 46:02, which will be in about less than a minute from now. So Joy AC coming off 2 goals to end the first half. Fusion got up 4-0, and Joy responded with 2 goals to cut the deficit in half. And now they got a second half of soccer to try and get 2 more goals. And a trip up there will result in a free kick for the Dakota Fusion. Just about 30 seconds away from starting our clock here. All right, now our clock is right on, and that'll be deflected out of bounds for a a throw-in. Joy AC will work it up the near side. O'Gara will tip it back to Colville. Colville will send it back up to the middle of the field. O'Gunn was the closest one to it. Now Yusukanami, who had 3 goals in the first half, has the ball right now. He'll slip it in there. Tried to get it for Yamaguchi, but it was intercepted. And now they'll put it onto the foot here of Kwame. And Kwame sends it up. It'll bounce all the way to Colville. Colville will control it inside his goal box. And now he'll pick it up after he's charged by Croton. Croton scored 1 of the 2 goals. He scored the goal in the 45th minute. I think it was 44-42 or something like that on the clock when he scored that second goal. Yamaguchi has it now. Yamaguchi sends it inside for Pritchard. Pritchard tips it back out, and I think that was intended for Yamaguchi. And Pritchard's looking at Yamaguchi like, dude, that was for you. And now they meet up and they shake it off. You can chuckle about that now, but a couple seasons ago that happened frequently and it wasn't something to chuckle about. Now it is something you can chuckle about as we have a train come through the background here. Joy AC making a move, and he's onside. Can he get it? Oh, it got deflected, and that should be a Joy AC corner kick, and it is. It'll be a corner kick from the near side. Corner kick is sent in and headed out there by Bulger. And now Ramos being challenged by O'Gunn. I'll work it over to the far side there, and in the middle of the field is eventually controlled there by Moreno. Now near side here, Swazweddle. Swazweddle will see it go out of bounds, and that will be a Fusion throw-in. And Ethan Bishop will take that throw-in. Yusukanami can't get through the defense there, and Joy AC is tightening things up defensively here in the first few minutes of the second half. I like what I see right now. And they'll feed this one up. Ethan Bishop's in the area. He'll be headed back to O'Gunn. O'Gunn feeds it over towards Kai Pritchard. It's headed away there by the Joy AC defense. Loose ball, O'Gunn touches up on it. He'll drop it back here for Bulger. He'll flip it over to the far side. Now Bulger will get it back. Bulger will cut through the defense, and I believe that was Pritchard, and it was. Comes back to Bolger. Bolger will drop it back here to O'Gara. O'Gara will slip his way through a couple defenders and then lose the ball. And, oh, is that a handball or a trip up? It's a trip up. He fell down, the whistle didn't blow, and then he grabbed it with his hands, and then the whistle blew. So I wasn't sure what direction they were going there with that one. High ball, and that'll be a corner kick here for Joy AC as Ethan Bishop wasn't able to control it off the chest. Corner kick comes in. Kawami out of bounds. Last touch there by Swazweddle. That'll be a throw in here for the Dakota Fusion. Ethan Bishop will have the throw in here for the Fusion. And he'll toss it up high and in, and Yusukanami's the nearest one there. Touched up there. That is Kawami. And now they'll drop it all the way back to Colville. This one's popped up. Bishop will head it out of there. And a loose ball midfield picked up by Joy. And they'll drop it all the way back to the defenders to try and set something up here. With it there is Moreno. Moreno will send it in, but it's intercepted. Coming back the other way are the Fusion. That pass, I think, was intended for Pritchard, possibly Yusukanami. Neither one of them they could get it to. I think it was intended for Pritchard, then tipped towards Yusukanami, is what I think happened there. So now Joy working it from just outside the goal box. They'll get it onto the foot here of Eklund. Eklund will drop it right back to Matson Kieta. And now Croton, who has the second goal, tries to get around Bishop and inside and across the face of the goal, and Joy could not capitalize on the opportunity. And now that one's knocked away by Ethan Bishop into the near side and out of bounds for a Joy throw-in. And that one across, ooh, and the chance there for Philip Caputo to get his second goal, but it was just a little bit over his head. Couldn't get a head on it to possibly head it in. So Joy down 4-2 now. With the ball here is Moreno. Moreno will feed it in. Now they'll get it back out onto the foot of Swazweddle. Swazweddle will take a move, try and work around a few defenders. He still has the ball, and he's still weaving his way through defenders. He puts it onto the foot of Kawami. Kawami pushes it outside here for Eklund. Eklund inside, and a corner kick coming up for Joy AC. As the Fusion defense steps up here in the 54th minute of play. That one comes in front of the goal. On the far side, Pritchard chasing after it, but Joy AC able to keep it away. Now come all the way back here to the defense, and they'll try and set it up from midfield here. They'll chip it up and in. And trying to make a play on the far side there's Croton. That one's taken away, dropped back to Colville. Colville booted out to the far sideline there. Pritchard tried to step up on it. But height advantage was at a disadvantage for Pritchard on that particular play. Pritchard, I think, might be the shortest player out there for either team. Even when I look on the bench, I still think he's the shortest one. Even if everybody on the bench came in, I think he'd be the shortest one. But don't let that fool you. He may not be able to get a big vertical and get up and do some fun things from up in the air, but he has a powerful foot. And he can really put a boom on the ball, and he's buried a couple into the back of the net this season. And now headed back in by Ramos and Koval, so Koval will come out and make sure that that's the end of that. I want to say hi to Jim, who's tuning in from Denver, North Carolina, watching this game. Thanks for tuning in, Jim. Hope that you enjoy the few minutes of this game that remain. We're in the 56th minute. All 6 goals scored in the first half. And we have a short pause in action here for the goalie to tie his shoe. Clock will continue to run. It does not stop unless there's a water break or some other official reasoning from the official. So Colville's shoe is tied. Ethan Bishop will take the throw in. He'll run it up, toss it up. In the area of Pritchard. Pritchard tried to chip it back to a gun, taken away by Ramos. Ramos will give it up there for Sukunami. Sukunami drops it back. Chasing after it is Colburn. Colburn will flip it over to the far side there, and they get it onto the foot of Bulger. Back to Colburn. Colburn with some space to look around, and he'll feed it up. Near side in the direction of a gun, but it's taken away there by Joe AC, and now immediately getting back there was Gasper. Gasper will drop it all the way back to Colville. Colville will set it up, and he will feed it up. And Yusukanami is onside. No, he's not. He's offside. He was offside by just maybe a foot or so. Let's see here. I want to say hi to Ted chiming in. I'm going to double check my rosters here. Maybe I mixed something up. According to the roster that the coach gave me, Zindian Croton is number 12, and Owen Sazweto is number 13. Now, if the coach wrote down the jersey numbers wrong, then I apologize for that. But I'm being told that those two players are mixed up. And if that's the case, then it is... If that's the case, then it was not Croton with the goal. It would have been Sazweto with the goal. But according to the official roster that the coach handed to me, I have those jersey numbers correct. I don't know if they switched them up by accident. They were handwritten on there, so I'm going to say that Ted is probably right. So I'm going to write a note on there and give... Okay, believe me, I'm the owner. Okay, you got it, Ted. I'm going to switch those up right now for you. Thank you for that information. So is Sazweto with the goal back in the 45th minute then. So Sazweto scored the goal to make the score 4-2 what it is right now. Once again, thank you, Ted, for that. I appreciate it. 4-2 here as we approach the 60th minute of play. And outside of the scoreboard, Ted, I hope you're enjoying the broadcast today. In the 60th minute, Colburn has it, looking for an opportunity to pass it up, and he does. And on the far side, he'll go out of bounds for a Joy throw-in. All right, so number 13 goes here, number 12 goes here, and I'll scribble those out. Both of those are starters. I think I can handle that one flip-flop since they're right next to each other in numeric order on the jerseys, so on the roster, I meant to say. This will be dropped back to O'Gara. O'Gara will send it all the way back to Colville. Colville gets it back to O'Gara. O'Gara will send it up. He's looking for O'Gun, and O'Gun will be able to control it. Can he get around the defender? He does, and now there's a whistle, and they're saying he's offsides. Maybe. I'll give him that much. If he was offsides, it's by about a half a foot, and it wasn't much. That was a really close one. And credit to the referee for eyeballing where that last defender was at for Joy. And now Joy trying to catch the Fusion offside with that free kick. I think one thing the Fusion have to avoid here to let the Joy get further back into this game is giving up some fouls within 30 yards of the goal, because that's where they scored that first one. Off the free kick by Caputo. Number 19 for Joy. Now they'll work it out here onto the foot of Eklund. Eklund sends it up, and well, it would have been 3 points if it was a different sport. Let's put it that way. 62nd minute of play now here, and it's still 4-2. No goals yet here in the second half of this one. Colville will dump it out here for O'Gara. O'Gara looking for some space. He'll feed it up. Sukanami will head it back for Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi feeds it up for Pritchard, and Pritchard was offsides, and that was an easy one to call. Some of the Fusion fans moaning about that one, but from my vantage point, he was offsides by at least 2 or 3 feet. Jim says, I don't know soccer at all. Well, stay tuned. You'll learn a lot about soccer. So to fill you in, since one of the recent things we've talked about is a couple offsides plays there. So for Jim, who doesn't know anything about soccer, the rule with offsides is that the offensive player cannot be in front of that final defender, and the final defender does not include the goalie, when the pass is made to him. Once the pass is made to him, that offensive player can go in front of the defender. And there's a shot, and one hop, it's saved there by Holmes off the foot of O'Gun. And really, that's the only thing you need to know. Other than out of bounds is out of bounds, just like it is in any other sport. And any contact that looks intent, like any intentional contact, would potentially result in a foul or a possible yellow or red card, depending on the severity of that. In most occasions, it's just a whistle and results in a free kick. Here's an opportunity for Joy in the middle of the net, but it went behind the player. I couldn't quite catch the jersey number who was in front there for Joy. Now that he gets a little bit closer, I think it was Croton. Now that, yeah, it's a number 13, I think it is. And if it is, it's Croton. Throws it in there from Bishop to O'Gun. O'Gun challenged by 2 Joy players, including Ramos and Eklund. And now this one will be snagged up there by Holmes. He'll roll it out quickly and keep action going here for the Fusion. That's taken away by Yusukanami. Yusukanami feeds it inside. It's picked up there by Gasper. Gasper trying to back heel kick to Pritchard, but couldn't get it there. Right back, Gasper controls it, loses it between his legs, and Joy picks it up and brings it back. Now they'll feed it up. Closest one there for Joy is Croton, number 13. I'm still trying to make the mental switch in my eyesight there on the roster. That one comes out of bounds and almost into the stands. And it'll be a throw-in here for Joy. And taking that throw-in is Eklund. And now they'll get it onto the foot here of Kawami. Back inside, Croton. And that shot there from Ramos was deflected. It was deflected there by Ben Colburn for the Fusion. Yeah, so Jim, that offsides rule is pretty much the only really rule that is maybe the hardest one to understand. All the other rules are pretty self-explanatory, at least in my opinion. Of course, I did play soccer, and there's a handball by Joy. Or, yeah, it was a handball by Joy right in front of the net, and that will be a free kick for the goalie, Colville. And now we have a whistle, and we have a substitution. Coming in for Dakota Fusion is Ed Burgos, number 11. Looks like he'll replace, is it O'Gunn coming out? It is. Coming into the game for the Fusion, number 11, Ed Burgos. And a correction on the second goal for Joy AC. It was actually scored by number 13, Zendang. Check that, number 12, Owen Sazweto. Now Yusukanami has it. He'll dish it out there for Yumagachi. Over on the far side. Can't quite see who's over on that far side, but it's a couple of players, I can tell you that. And offsides. He was offsides by maybe 6-7 inches. Not by much, but he was offside. Jim says, I'm the one responsible for getting him hooked on watching girls basketball. Well, if I did that, then I think I might be able to do a good job on getting you hooked on the sport of soccer, or as some may call it, football. Spelled a little bit differently than the American football that most of the USA citizens are familiar with. F-U-T-B-O-L, football, is the other term for the American term of soccer. And there's your little history lesson on soccer for Jim and anybody else who didn't know that information. Now you know. Burgos, for the first time, touching up on the ball. He dumps it back here for Balger. Balger will switch it over. Now they'll set it up, get it right back to Balger. Balger will turn around, feed it in there for, I keep forgetting his name, Gasper. And a free kick coming up here for the Fusion. And free kick will come over here to Bishop. Bishop will set it up. Pritchard's in the area, heads it back in, and it's saved there by Holmes. It looked like Yusukanami was in there trying to challenge Holmes for that possession of the ball, and Holmes was able to come up the winner in that contest. And a whistle here and a free kick for the Fusion. Or, I'm sorry, a throw-in for the Fusion. Yamaguchi gets it over here to Bishop. Bishop sends it up to Burgos. Burgos maybe got away with a handball there. And that feed pass there for Yusukanami was deflected, and now it's picked up here by Kuwami. And Kuwami will send it up, but nobody there. Go all the way back to Colville, and he will patiently take that ball. He'll be charged up there by Swazwedel, who is the goal scorer. And that one sent up. And Yusukanami was there, but and he's able to come away with it and get it to Yamaguchi, and he'll kick it back to Yamaguchi. And now Yusukanami with a shot from the top of the goal, and it's deflected over the top of the crossbar on a save there by Edward Holmes. And what a fantastic save by Edward Holmes. He'll set up a corner kick for the Fusion from the far side there. But Yamaguchi and Yusukanami back and forth on the quick touch passes there to each other to set that one up, and Yusukanami nearly had his fourth goal of the game. Yusukanami scoring 3 of the 4 Fusion goals in this one. The other one scored by, who scored it again? It was Rashad O'Gunn. That one goes a little bit wide left as Ethan Bishop was hoping for an opportunity there. Rashad O'Gunn's goal back on the 35th minute. He was able to intercept the pass that was being passed from the Joy AC goalie Holmes, and Rashad had one-on-one with Holmes, and he was able to put it into the back of the net, no problem. Not much Holmes could do about that particular goal. Joy AC now down 4-2 here in the 71st minute of play. Once again, for Jim and others who don't know, game goes to 90 minutes plus stoppage time determined by the officials on the field. Usually, I'm going to guess here in the second half, we won't see more than maybe a minute, 2 minutes possibly at the max for stoppage time, depending on what happens here in the next 18 minutes or so. We had about 2 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. I wouldn't imagine we'd have much more than that. This game's been going pretty fluently here in the second half. Flawlessly may be a term to use depending on which team you're cheering for right now, but work it around the defense. They'll boot it up to midfield. Bishop heads it back into the direction of Burgos. Burgos tries to send it back into the middle. Nobody there. And now it's picked up here by Joy's Kantoritz. And now it's sent back by O'Gara all the way back to Colville. Charged up there by Swazueto. And now O'Gara has it again. O'Gara sends it up into the middle of the field there, and Sukanami put it up into his own face off his right sneaker there, and he kind of unexpected. And now back where the ball was kicked from, we have some contact. And it looks like this is going to be an infraction on the Fusion. I'll set up a free kick here for Joy. Joy scored their first goal off a free kick. This one a little bit further out from about 45 yards out, and they'll drop it back to try and set something up. They'll work it back here to Kwame. Kwame tries to make a move around Burgos. Kwame still with it. Kwame stops, spins, switches directions. He's looking upfield. Kwame still has the ball, and now he'll dump it off here for Ramos. Ramos back to Kwame. Kwame surveying, and he gets a touch pass right back, and now they'll put it onto the foot and inside, and here's an opportunity, and no, I'm not sure who deflected it. I don't know if it was Colville or one of the Fusion players, but somebody deflected it out to the far side. And number 12, who I credited, or number 13, who I credited the goal to the first time, almost got the goal that I credited him for there. Far side, I can't quite see who that is on the far side. It looks like maybe, I'm not going to say, because I don't see that jersey number on my roster. If they're on the far football sideline, it's a little bit tough. If they're anywhere else on the field, I can usually spot them. O'Gara has it now. Gets it up to Gasper, right back to O'Gara. O'Gara will feed it over to the far side, chested down there and controlled. And now they work it up for Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi tried to kick it up in a back heel kick, and he'll be called for offside. So free kick here for Joy. Looks like we'll have a substitution here for Joy. Looks like Grant Luke will come in at the next opportunity. So free kick there taken by Moreno. Moreno will switch it over here for Ramos. Ramos gets around Yamaguchi. Ramos feeds it up here for Eklund. Eklund chased by, that was Bishop. Both of them wearing number 20 for their respective teams. A shot, Jim, a shot would be considered anything that goes on net or probably just a foot or so wide right or left, or something right over the crossbar. There has been a couple shots since you've tuned in. I remember last year in a broadcast, me and Eric Tiansen were discussing what would be qualified as a shot, and if you look in the end zone where it says spuds, anywhere from the P to the D, the PUD, if the ball goes anywhere in that area on either side, we would consider that a shot. Here's Kai Pritchard now. Pritchard gets tangled up in a double team, drops it back. Sukanami. And now it's taken away here by Joy. Sukanami going after it. Bishop stands up on Kwame. Kwame still with it. Now a couple passes later, they feed it up there and it'll be taken away by the Fusion. All the way back and, ooh, wasn't sure if he got a piece of that ball when it was kicked away by Colville or not. Checking into the game now is Grant Luke, number 14. I didn't see him sneak in, but he is in playing now. And outside, and with some space here is Yamaguchi. And here's Yusukanami. He gets around the keeper. Yusukanami scores!
Come on, you! Come on!
Yusukanami with his fourth goal of the game.
That's the top goal scorer in the nation!
Yusukanami, I don't have official numbers on this, but he might be the leading scorer now for the Fusion. It's the second game this season where I have personally called 4 goals scored by Yusukanami. So I know he has at least 8 on the season, and I'm pretty sure he has more than 8.
Let's go, you! One more goal!
So 5-2 as Yusukanami scores in the 78th minute.
Let's go, you!
Your Dakota Fusion goal is 4th of the game, scored by number 18, Yusukanami. We are now approaching the 79th minute, so approximately 11 minutes remaining, plus any stoppage time. Once again, I would guess that we'd have 1 to 2 minutes max of stoppage time, but we'll see if the officials disagree with me or not. They'll usually send a signal up in the final minute of the half. Looks like we have a pending substitution here for the Fusion. Shantaro Endo will be coming into the game at the next break in action. They'll work it out to the near side here now for Ramos. Ramos gives it up for Eklund. Eklund makes a move, and now a couple passes later, they feed it up here on the near side for Luke. Grant Luke, who just checked into the game a few minutes ago, tried a centering pass there, didn't quite get through, and the Fusion will retain possession. And maybe getting tripped up there and tangled up, and will that draw a card? It looks like it will. Yeah, he went for the tackle and then the feet got tangled up. I don't think he did it intentionally here, but the referee is going to be delivering a yellow card here to Bennett Kwame here in the 80th minute. And we have a Fusion player slow to get up. Caution in the 80th minute, given to Bennett Kwame, number 8 for Joy. Also, a couple recent substitutions. Checking into the game for Joy, number 14, Grant Luke. And also checking in for the Fusion, number 26, Shantaro Endo. And now checking in is number 21 for the Fusion, Riku Kawano. All right, so free kick here after the yellow card that has been assessed to Bennett Kawami. And, you know, I don't necessarily disagree with the yellow card, I guess, but, you know, I think that was unintentional. I think the referee kind of turned his head and then saw the feet get tangled up more, and maybe he thought that Bennett Kawami purposely tangled him up more than he should have, and that's why he pulled the card out. From my vantage point, I think I would have just given him a verbal warning, but like I said, the referee had a different vantage point since he looked back and kind of saw. He didn't see the whole picture. He just saw what he saw when he turned his head. And I think that's what produced the yellow card. Maybe, like I said, probably just a strong verbal warning like, hey, you better watch out there, don't do that again type of a thing. But so, Jim, a yellow card. If Bennett Kawami gets another yellow card, it'll be a yellow and a red, and then he'll be out for the rest of this game and the rest of the next game as well. If that were to happen. I don't think I've called a red card this season for any of the teams that have played here at Jim Gata Stadium in Moorhead. Of course, Jim Gata Stadium, home of the Moorhead Spuds. Called a handful of great football games on this field over the years here on Magnitude Sports. Jim, remind me in a text message to tell you one of those stories sometime. And the only reason I say that is because I've shared that story in previous broadcasts. I'm not sure who wants to hear it again. So Ethan Bishop will take the throw-in here. He'll get a running start on this throw-in. Be the equivalent of a corner kick almost. And out of bounds, and we'll have a goal kick here for Joy. Looks like we'll have another upcoming substitution here for the Fusion. Not sure who it is yet. I'll let you know in a moment. We're in the 84th minute now, and it is 5-2. And we have a short pause and a whistle here. Checking in for the Fusion will be Raishiro Marita. Checking into the game for the Fusion, number 2, Raishiro Marita. And now it's taken away, and Rito gets it back to Pritchard. Pritchard tried to feed it up, but Joy defense was not going to let that one go through. Not sure who stopped it. I was looking the other direction. There's one of two players for Joy who stopped it. Now it's all the way back to Colville. He'll pick it up as the Joy forwards have been rushing Colville whenever he hasn't had the ball in his physical hands. Near side here, it's Riku Kawano with the ball now. Kawano has it again. He just checked into the game a few moments ago. He'll chip a pass up here for Ethan Bishop. And Bishop will send one forward. And Yusukanami's there. Yusukanami, can he create himself another opportunity? He's being challenged strongly there. And Yusukanami doing a great job of keeping control of that ball. She was pressured strongly there by Noah Kantorits. I heard a Fusion fan say, give him a red. I don't see any reason for even a yellow on that card, on that particular play, but everyone's allowed to have their own opinions, I guess. So the 86th minute of play. And a free kick here for the Fusion. This is about the spot where Joy scored their goal off the free kick. We'll see if the Fusion have something similar in mind. They'll curve it in, and it was headed up over the crossbar and also a little wide left there. Ben Colburn was in on that action there and nearly had himself goal 6 for the Fusion. As we approach the 87th minute now. Offsides is the call, as Yusukanami was a good 4 or 5 feet in front of that defender.
Let's go, SVV.
And now Yusukanami has another opportunity. And Yusukanami puts it into the back of the net for his 5th goal of the game. Yusukanami scores again, his 5th goal of the game here in the 87th minute.
Number 5.
It's not often you see a player score 5 goals, but that's exactly what Yusukanami has done today. Scoring the goal for the Fusion, his 5th of the game, number 18, Yusukanami.
Hey, you need to work a little harder.
I'll admit, that's funny. A fan telling Yusukanami that he should work a little harder. It's almost like if Yusukanami gets the ball inside the 20, if there's not 3 players on him, he's going to create himself an opportunity. I've seen one player in a soccer game score 6 goals, and Yusukanami has about 2 minutes to become the 2nd player that I've seen score 6 goals in a game. I'm not saying that I'm cheering for him to score that 6th goal, but I'm just saying that if he does, it'd be the 2nd player I've seen do that in an NPSL or WPSL game. I don't even think I've seen it on the high school level. I've called a couple hat tricks on the high school level, but I don't think I've seen that on the high school level either. One minute to go here, and then whatever stoppage time we might have. Coming in is number 5, Boykego Mbakanye, or also goes by Stooge for short. He'll be coming into the game momentarily here. He's wearing number 5 on the sideline, and he's going to be coming in for Yusukanami. Coming into the game in relief for Yusukanami is number 5, Boykego Mbakanye, otherwise known as Stooge. And here's another opportunity and a nice save, and then the rebound, it's put in. And another goal for the Fusion just as we get ready. It was Burgos with the goal. And he scores it right as the clock hits 90. Scoring the goal for the Fusion, number 11, Edward Burgos. So we are in stoppage time now. I did not see the signal since the goal was scored. I was busy doing other things. But with 3 goals, I'm going to guess we have 2 minutes of stoppage time here. And now the Fusion looking to for another opportunity. They put it in again. What is going on here with the Fusion? Ed Burgos scores 2 goals in like a span of a minute. We're going to call that the 91st minute, I think. Scoring the goal in the 91st minute, his second of the game, number 11, Ed Burgos.
Brandon Gaspar. Brandon Gaspar.
Was it Gasper?
Yeah, it's Gaspar, yeah.
Correction, on the goal it was number 6, Brandon Gasper. So that is your final score. The Dakota Fusion score 4 goals in the first half and 4 goals in the second half, and they score 3 of those 4 goals in the span of 4 minutes. 6-2 in the 87th minute, 7-2 in the 89th minute, no, the 90th minute, and 8-2, or 8-4, I'm sorry. What's the score? 8-2, yeah. Okay, so 6-2 in the 87th minute, 7-2 in the 90th minute, and 8-2 in the 91st minute. And the Dakota Fusion, with that win, have secured themselves a playoff spot. The only thing left to determine is what happens with Duluth FC and Med City. Med City is the only one who could put the Fusion on the road in the playoffs, but they will absolutely have a playoff game. The only thing left to decide is if it's going to be at home or if it's going to be on the road. So congratulations to the Dakota Fusion for securing a playoff spot. Thank you for tuning in, whether you were cheering on the Fusion or whether you were cheering on the Joy AC. We thank you for tuning in, and it's been a fun broadcast. Maybe a little bit more fun for Dakota Fusion fans. They made it interesting towards the end of the first half. But it was all Dakota Fusion in half number 2, and it was all Yusukanami tonight with little assistance from a couple of other teammates here. Yusukanami, your player of the game, with 5 of the 8 goals scored for the Dakota Fusion. That's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Playoff game for the Fusion to be determined. My best guess is that'll be on July 15th, but they have one more regular season game on the road. They'll wrap it up against the undefeated I'm drawing a blank on that who that last opponent is. Duluth FC, that's right. Duluth FC. I knew they were undefeated. At least I got that part right. So they've been playing some really good soccer here heading into the end of the season, and we'll see if they have what it takes to deliver Duluth their first loss of the season on the road next week, and that'll be their final regular season game, and then they'll sort out playoffs. And once again, I'm thinking that playoff game will probably be on July 15th, give or take a day or so on either side of July 15th. But we'll have more information on the Dakota Fusion social medias and all that good stuff, and we'll let you know when that game will occur. And good luck to Dakota Fusion, that game against Duluth on the road to wrap up the regular season. And best of luck to Joy AC in their final game of the season coming up as well. Your final score one more time, Dakota Fusion 8 and Joy AC 2. We'll go off air, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Preceding broadcast was an exclusive presentation of the Magnitude Sports Network. Subscribe, click the bell, and visit magnitudesn.com for a schedule of our upcoming broadcasts.